for anything, nor uncircumcision, but keeping the commands of God. Each one should remain in the condition in which he was called. Were you a slave when called? Do not be concerned about it. But if you can gain your freedom, avail yourself of the opportunity. For he who was called in the Lord as a slave is a free man of the Lord. Good line. Otherwise, he who was free when called is a slave to Christ. You were bought with a price. Do not become slaves of men. So, brothers, in what condition each was called, let him remain with God. I thought, Gene Scott used to say, and I thought, it said in the Bible, you were bought with a terrible price, but maybe that's just, I don't know. Anyway. All right. This is a long chapter, so we'll just do one chapter.
So they're sitting there telling you don't become circumcised if you're not.
It's not religious. Now, the Jews did it for a religious reason.
Well, yeah, because all through the First Testament tells you you have to. Now, in the New Testament, it's telling you don't have to.
Right.
All in the First Testament, it tells you, you know what, you have a ton of mistresses, but one wife. And now they're telling you one wife only, no mistresses. It kind of contradicts itself.
We're going to move on.
Well, yeah.
The unmarried and the widow. Now concerning the betrothed. Now concerning the betrothed. I have no command from the Lord, but I give my judgment as one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. Just like me. I think that in view of the present distress, it is good for a person to remain as he is. Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek to be free. Are you free of a wife? Do not seek a wife. But if you do marry, you have not sinned, and if a betrothed woman marries, she has not sinned. Yet those who marry will have worldly troubles, and I will spare you that. This is what I mean, brothers. The appointed time has grown very short. From now on, let those who have wives live as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they had no goods. For those who deal with the world as though they had no dealings with it, for the present form of this world is passing away. I want you to be free from sexual anxieties. The unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about worldly things, how to please his wife. And his interests are divided. And the unmarried or betrothed woman is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to be holy in body and spirit. But the married woman is anxious about worldly things, how to please her husband. I say this for your own benefit, not to lay any restraint upon you, but to promote good order and to secure your undivided devotion to the Lord. If anyone thinks that he is not behaving properly towards his betrothed, if his passions are strong, and if he has, it has to be, let him do as he wishes. Let them marry. It is no sin. But whoever is firmly established in his heart. Let me go back to it. For whoever is firmly established in his heart, being under no necessity, but having his desire under control, and has determined, this is his heart, to keep her as his betrothed, he will do well. So then he who marries his betrothed does well, and he who refrains from marriage will do even better. A wife is bound to her husband as long as he lives, but if her husband dies, she is free to marry to whom she wishes, only in the Lord. Yet, in my judgment, she is happier if she remains as she is. And I think that I too have the Spirit of God. Okay.
Okay. So obviously he wasn't married. Obviously he thinks it's better not to be married. But it's okay if you are. But it's better that you don't marry. Because now you can devote all your time to God. Where if you do marry, you have to split that in half. Really? I don't think it's a split at all. You can do both, married or unmarried. I don't think there's a separation here. And obviously, he doesn't fully understand it because he didn't get married.
I think he has a pretty profound
No.
understanding in totality. I do.
I don't. Because being married helps you understand the Bible more, because if she turns to the Bible, can help guide you through times when you're down and low and off track.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when you're single, you just seek from your friends, and your friends aren't going to sit there and go, oh, you know, because it's more of an alcoholic thing. And then you're looking for a girl and you're sleeping with her and you feel better.
Hi.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
And granted, some men do that when they're married too, but, you know, if they have a wife at home telling them, well, what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing you would go to hell for, then, you know what, you better straighten up.
Do you think, how have you advised your daughters
On what?
on just all these issues, generally speaking? I don't know any details, I'm just saying, have you had to talk with them or no?
What talk?
Just general.
About life?
About life, marriage, love, sex, all the big picture.
When it comes up, yes, we talk.
Now, let me ask you something. You have two wonderful daughters. They really are wonderful. They're very different. Very different. But they're wonderful. You think they will marry?
I don't know, it's their choice.
Okay, I was just wondering. All right. Chapter 8, Food Offered to Idols. Now, concerning food offered to idols, we know that all of us possess knowledge. This knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. That's a very good line. I like that. If anyone imagines that he knows something he does not know as he ought to, but if anyone loves God, he is known by God. Therefore, as to the eating of food offered to idols, we know that an idol has no real existence, and that there is no God but one. For although there may be so-called gods in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is one God, the Father, from whom all things and for whom we exist, and one Lord Jesus Christ, through whom all things and through whom we exist. However, not all possess this knowledge, but some through the former association with idols eat food as really offered to an idol. And their conscience, being weak, is defiled. Food will not condemn us to God. We are not worse off if we do not eat, and no better off if we do. But take care that this right of yours does not somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if anyone sees you if anyone sees you who have knowledge eating in an idol's temple, will he not be encouraged if his conscience is weak to eat food offered to idols? And so by your knowledge, this weak person is destroyed, the brother for whom Christ died, thus sinning against your brothers, and wounding their conscience when it is weak. You're sinning against Christ. Therefore, if food makes my brother stumble, I will never eat meat, lest I make my brother stumble.
Meaning don't go in the temples and eat the disgusting food that's been laid there for a week or more.
The line I find so interesting,
Oh, that there are many gods?
yeah, for although there may be so-called gods in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, it's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting. The one thing I would say, I wanted to say this for a while, but I'm going to say something about the book of Revelation that is so important. It's staggering.
It's staggering.
And this is what it is. I was born in 1947. And when I was growing up, the phenomenon of spaceships and what was that place they were supposed to have landed? I forget now, but anyway, it was a big deal. People, in fact, I actually saw what I believe was a spaceship when I was on the roof before we moved to Riverbank, way back when I was 6 years